Rewind Heart Trap. That's what that is. Mm-hmm. Pretty fucking sweet beats.
Super sweet beats.
And it's going to be the backdrop for our introduction to this episode.
Yes.
But first, the sponsors for this episode are...
Comics Watching Comics.
Find that TV show on Amazon Prime.
Yeah, find all of the seasons 1 through 5. They're recording the latest ones just recently on Saturday. Check it out. It's good. It's good stuff.
ComicsWatchingComics.com and Amazon Prime.
Yeah, and all the social media places too.
And the Sportsbook Box Office Podcast.
Hosted by two New York comedians and sports fans, Kevin Goatee and Jeffrey Paul.
Mm-hmm. Talking sports, movies. It's pretty
Busting
obvious.
Some balls.
Title. Oh, they do plenty of that, I'm sure.
Yep. You can find them at Sportsbook Box Office Podcast. Yeah, basically anywhere. Just
they're on all the podcast platforms. Check it out. Mm-hmm. All right. We have a badass guest for this episode.
Yes, we do. We have legendary Jim Florentine.
Hilarious comedian. You know him from Prank Anchors. Mm-hmm. Special ed character.
Special ed.
Yay. And he's got a pretty big podcast. He's had he's comedic actor, been on TV. He's got a book that just came out. We're gonna talk about that.
Yes.
So here we go with Jim Florentine.
Now, tonight's adventure into the unknown.
Shut up and sit down.
You are listening to SARGE Approved.
Yes, you are.
Who we got tonight, Frenzy?
We have a guest who wears many hats. He's a stand-up comedian, actor, author, and television personality. We have Jim Florentine. How's it going, Jim?
Good. How you guys doing?
We're excited to have you on.
Are you just saying that?
No.
You really are. We're fans of yours. Come on now.
We're totally lying.
No, you are.
Thank you.
I remember first hearing about you from Crank Yankers because I was in high school when that shit was out. Wasn't that like early 2000s?
Yeah, like 2002 to 2006.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. And I graduated in 2001. So that was right in my wheelhouse. I remember doing prank phone calls when I was a kid. And you're still doing prank phone calls.
I still haven't grown up.
You had to do prank phone calls as a kid too, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, I went to Catholic school, so I was grounded a lot because I was a rebel and I was always getting in trouble. So I would just have to stay in my house and I would just make prank phone calls because I was bored.
That's awesome.
I was just thinking about this evening because one of the characters you're most famous for from Crank Yankers is that special ed character. I highly doubt that character would fly today.
Yeah, I mean, probably not. I mean, because, God forbid, a TV station or, just a company alone just stands up for somebody and just says, no, too bad,
Well, yeah, and they try to...
Because they'll be on to something else, the next day. So
exactly.
Nobody's really looking for an apology or anything like that. Just go, yeah, sorry, you don't like it, too bad, You don't have to watch it. And then people just move on to something else.
Yeah. Well, and it has to do, I believe it has to do something with like ratings and stuff too. So if you're the first channel that gets to like whatever your channel of news information is, you get to report on this thing that is super gross and like nobody would maybe even care about it, 20 years ago because everyone wasn't so sensitive. But then it's like, oh, now everyone's going to pay attention to this for 5 minutes and then move on to the next thing where it's just like, it doesn't even matter. It's just,
it's the topic that pisses me off of the day.
Exactly. Like the Family Guy episode.
No one's really that sensitive. Like, because I do stand up and I'm in the clubs all the time, and the crowds are not more sensitive at all. People are not walking out. People are not complaining, saying they want their money back. They're offended. Right. They're not writing letters. They're not doing any of that stuff. So it's really just the media blowing everything out of proportion. Right. Most people just they've had enough of it. So when they come to a comedy club, they're not going to come in there offended, like waiting to get offended and complain about it and write about it or whatever. So it's really just the media blowing everything out of proportion.
Yeah.
But the thing is those type of people that have those complaints, they are the ones that'll go on Yelp and write like a super mean, crappy review just to like have someone else read it. It's
no, it's true. But I just they're I think they're saying look, if someone doesn't like something, 500 people on Twitter will retweet it and attack that person. But that's 500 people out of 350 million in the United States alone.
Yeah.
So it's really a super small percentage. Most people are just living their lives, doing the same thing they always did.
Right.
And they laugh at inappropriate stuff. They still do it. And, you know what I mean, behind closed doors at a comedy club or wherever, or talking to their friends when their friends are over. Maybe they got to be a little more careful at work or something like that. But other than that, they're pretty much doing the same thing.
Yeah. But that's all you ever see in the news is the people that are pissed off.
The media loves that. The media likes to control everybody and say, no, this is the way you're supposed to be. This is the way you're supposed to act, towards whatever, you know what I mean? So, it's all, who cares? I don't listen to any of that stuff. It's like, someone was saying about my book, they're like, wow, you really don't care about what's going on. You pretty much use words in there that people aren't really using anymore. I go, I don't care. I don't live in that world. I go, what am I supposed to do? Then it's not going to be a funny book. I don't care. You know what I mean? I don't go, okay, what's the new word I'm not supposed to say now?
Right.
Because 20 people are offended. I don't live like that.
Yeah.
You have a yearly subscription to the new the thesaurus. Like, these are the words that have been added or changed that you can use instead. Your dictionary, whatever. Like I know that they add I don't know how many words it is, and I don't know if it's yearly or whatever, but Webster's adds new words all the time to the dictionary.
Do they ever omit words?
I don't know.
Because that would be interesting. They're like, we have decided that you're no longer allowed to use the word fuck. So we are erasing it from the vocabulary. Obviously, that won't be the first one to go. It'd be something a little more hot buttony, like something gender related or sexual orientation related or racial.
So for 2017, Merriam-Webster, like the conglomerate of dictionaries, if you were like to be the badass dictionary, you'd be a Merriam-Webster.
Obviously.
They just for 2017, they just added more than 1,000 new words.
What?
In a year. Mm-hmm.
From the English language?
Yes.
What? Mm-hmm. Are these all like slang words and shit that millennials have made up these days?
There's some. But
wow. Can you find what some of the words are?
I know. You stop looking at my computer.
While you look that up.
I already know them. I can tell you, but you guys think about that. Like, do you think that's weird? I mean,
1,000 words in how long?
A year.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Right.
1,000 words a year go away?
No,
they're added.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's always happened. They always add some stupid words,
But doesn't that seem like a lot?
That are, part of vernacular now, so.
Right.
But the thing with slang words is, like, when everyone's like, what are people saying now? Those are, in a couple of years, no one's using them anymore, usually.
Yeah, but that's the same as, like...
It's not cool.
Right. That's the same as, like, saying, like, vast, or, like, speaking from, vast? Like, the English, vast.
What's that
or,
mean?
Like, in Shakespearean times.
Are you sure? Vast?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'll look it up.
Okay. Your book.
It's never removed, apparently. If it's in the Oxford English Dictionary, it's never removed. Anyway.
Oh, Oxford's the legit one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Your book just came out February 20th.
Yep.
And everybody is awful, in parentheses, except you. And I feel like there's a hint of sarcasm in that title.
Well, I didn't think about it because people are saying, oh, is that like a cop-out? Like you're saying, you're being politically correct. Oh, not you. I'm like, no, it actually means like if you're reading the book and you're getting it and getting what I'm talking about, you're not awful. It's just everybody else.
Okay.
If you're offended by this book, you're awful. If you're getting this book and understand and go, yeah, you know what? This pisses me off too, and this is stupid what these people are doing, then, that's you.
I like that.
You, that's who I'm talking, yeah.
So you're kind of known for your rants and your opinions and things like that. What are a couple of I guess the ones that grind your gears the most?
Well, I do. There's a section in the book about slang words, awful slang words. That people use, because my take on slang words is, whatever the new word is and everyone starts using it, they're just trying to fit in,
right?
Because everybody else is saying it, so they're just trying to fit. Oh, is that what everyone's calling it? Okay, then I'll do that too. You know what I mean? It's just like, and I have no problem with young people doing that, because you're a teenager, you're even in college, stuff like that. You're trying to fit in. You're socially awkward. You want friends.
You're impressionable.
You know what I mean? There's a lot of pressure, peer pressure, and you're just trying to fit in. So I got no problem with anybody doing it. It's just when you got a middle-aged woman going, me and my bestie went out last night for some wine. That drives me insane. You know what I mean? Like, that's something their 17-year-old daughter should be saying.
Exactly.
Me and my bestie went to the movies tonight.
Right.
So what's the cutoff? What's the cutoff for a word like bestie, age-wise?
12.
I would say 27.
Francie, when's the last time you said bestie?
I don't say bestie. I say BFF.
I think that might be.
It's probably worse,
one of those
actually.
slang words.
It's different now. Like, you used to be able to say my girlfriend, and now there's women that are married or that are dating more often than they were back then. So if I say girlfriend, I've gotten like, oh, you're gay, and I'm like, nope, I'm not. But it's just it's a friend that's a girl.
Interesting. Never thought about that.
It comes up more.
She could just say she's one of my best friends.
Right.
Or one of my good friends.
Yeah. Guys don't do that. We don't call our best guy friends my boyfriend. It's my boyfriend Dan.
Yeah.
Well, and
you're like, okay, you're fucking that dude, right?
And I want to know who came up with the idea of best friends. Like, why do you have to have just one really good friend that you love and would do anything for? Like, why does it have to be you just pick one? Like, that's the best one.
Because Highlander established.
Well, I usually do one of. No, because there usually is. You know what I mean? There usually is one person that's no, this one actually is my best friend. So
But that changes over time
too. Some people have a bunch of different ones that are close, but the others have that one special one that is a best friend.
Right, but you also have maybe a couple of people that you could consider best friends, and depending on what they've got going on in their life or what you've got going on in yours, you gravitate towards them at different times. Like they're all.
So then you just say, he's one of my best friends.
That's the best scenario for everybody. One of my best friends.
Yeah, it's only like 2 more seconds to say.
Yeah,
that's why I always with these abbreviations and always acronyms and stuff. I'm like, are we in that much of a rush to get that you have to shorten everything?
Yeah. Well, because BFF means best friends forever. I mean, that's not even true. There's no way you can't be best friends forever. Eventually, you're both going to die.
Yeah.
Or you're not going to know. It might not last forever.
Yeah, most of the time, especially with you females. It's like every other week you're pissed off at each other about something.
Yeah,
like, I'm not your friend for 3 months, and now we're best friends again.
I don't do that shit. That's lame. Be friends with who you want to be friends with. Figure it out. I don't have time for that shit.
You've never done that?
Maybe when I was 17. Okay. Not now. Not in the last 20 years.
Well, guys use it too. Like a guy will say if he's like, or if he likes some other guy, just like whether he's like an actor or just a friend. They call it a bromance.
Yeah, or a man crush.
It makes my skin crawl. Just say you're gay. You know what I mean? Why try to cover it up?
Yeah. Well, there's a concerted effort to demasculate men as a whole these days. I mean,
totally.
There's a concerted effort to make men as genderless as possible. Anything manly.
But you know what? But then the women lose respect for them because women still want a guy.
Yeah, I don't want that shit. Who's saying that?
Most of the women still want like just a man, a guy to protect them. You know, just in a guy role. Like, yeah, he's a guy. That's what most of the women are attracted to. So when you start doing that to men, and they basically become, you know, pussies, then the women are going to go, I need a guy. I don't want this. This is like hanging out with my girlfriend.
Well, you have to have a guy that, like, you have to be married or dating someone that's a man's man, but still, like, you can have a conversation with once in a while when it's something important and, like, you know, figure shit out. But you don't want a fucking pussy man. Gross.
I know, and that's what they're trying to turn all the guys into. And it's like, okay, and then the younger generation of guys are doing that. They don't know any better. And it's like, okay, you're going to do that. The women are going to go, okay. Then some of the women want that too. And then all of a sudden that's going to happen to all these men. And then they're going to go, wait a minute. This guy's, oh my God, I feel like I'm hanging out with my girlfriend. I'm going to go to the local friggin' VFW hall and find a guy.
Yeah. The worst.
A guy in a flannel was just chopping wood an hour ago.
Oh,
jeez. Got a dip in.
You have the whole, like, the metrosexual / Jersey Shore type wave of men that were dressing like that, in that way, that metrosexual look. That seems like it's not as rampant as it was, but like anything considered manly these days is almost like it's an attack against women for some reason.
Yeah, exactly. I know. It's like, okay, so you hate women because you're a little manly or something, or you don't like a guy. But
I don't understand.
That's not true.
I have never even heard of this theory before. Like, I don't get it.
It's, yeah.
What theories?
About women not wanting manly men. Like, I don't get that. Like, I don't.
Well,
it doesn't comprehend with me.
As a whole, they
no,
don't.
but look what's going on. How about how men are supposed to just listen to women and just shut up, and this Me Too and this and sexual harassment, and you can't even say anything. Like, but just the media blowing everything out of proportion. But
yeah, no, I look at all that.
We want you to just be quiet and just listen to us. We're like, okay, we will. But, you know, not everything, because I asked for your number, I hit on you in a bar. That doesn't mean I'm sexually harassing you. You just say no and you move on. That's just life. That's how men and women meet.
Right.
How else are we going to meet if someone doesn't make a move?
Well,
I'm not grabbing you.
You remember the Al Franken scandal with Leanne Tweeden?
Yep.
Do you recall this?
Yes, of course. Yes, I remember.
And you see the photo that you saw was they were on like a C-130 or DC-10. I don't recall what the aircraft was, but
it was an aircraft.
Leanne Tweeden is sitting there asleep. It's almost impossible to stay awake on those things. She's asleep and she's wearing a full Kevlar and helmet. And Al Franken, being a comedian as he is, you know, by nature, before he got into politics, the fucking dude is a comedian. He has a picture snapped of him not even groping her, but basically miming the act of him groping her tits. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yep.
He's not actually grabbing her tits. Even if he did, he would be grabbing a bulletproof vest that she was wearing. So there's no way he could have actually grabbed her tits, right? And this creates this whole crazy scandal. And then you see some video of the kind of things that Leanne Tweeden would do when she was doing these USO tours. And I was at one of those tours when I served in Kuwait and Iraq. They did a USO tour in Kuwait, and Robin Williams came out, and Leanne Tweeden and Blake Clark was out there, and they all did a show. They did stand up and stuff. Leanne Tweeden just signed fucking Maxim magazines and stuff.
Well, the one thing that you didn't mention though was that she was sleeping when he did that. She wasn't standing on stage; she was sleeping.
Yeah, I was on the plane. That's why I said
she was sleeping. Like, that's creepy. Like,
it is a little creepy.
You'd be cool with someone that you cared about, like some random, like your daughter or your sister, your mom, someone coming up to you and pretending to grab your boobs to be funny while someone's sleeping. It's different if you're awake because you could be like,
right. No, I get that, but I would not want the guy, even if it was my sister or my mother, because he did not grab her tits. He was miming it. Yes, it might be in bad taste, but I don't think the guy should lose his fucking job over something like that.
He was, there's a little more to that story besides the picture. Yes, I understand he's a comedian, and I've done dead pictures too. But he was supposedly harassing her the most of the USO tour, and he wrote up some script, and he's like, "Look, we got to practice, and we have to make out.
Yeah,
so come on, make out." He wrote all stuff in there, which is But when he's a senator, the problem is when you're a hypocrite and you're a senator and you're going after anyone and Donald Trump and all this, he touched these women and he's grabbed them by the pussy and he should be out of office. When you're going to open your mouth and you did that stuff and you got some stuff in your past and you're grabbing girls' asses when you're taking a picture with them as the husband's taking it, yeah, someone's going to call you out. Okay, motherfucker, you think you're all this righteous and stuff, and let me just tell you what you did to me. So that's why you got to be careful with that stuff. If he's never opened his mouth, then you're like, all right.
Right.
I'll let the guy slide, but he's out there every day. Mm-hmm. He's just crying for, in tears about women's rights. It's like, stop! You're grabbing some girl's ass as you're taking a picture with you. You know what I mean? Because you're a senator and the husband's doing it. And you're a creep.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, that part I agree with you. The hypocrisy of if he's making statements like that and he's trying to make out with Leanne Tweeden at the same time and being creepy. You get into that whole political game, and you tend to do some creepy things.
I always said if I ever ran for office, I would get all the creepy things I did in my past out of the way in the first press conference.
You'd have to.
I would. Like, even before Trump. It was pretty much if you did some crazy stuff, you weren't going to get in office. I said, I would call press conference and say, look, I did this. This is going to come out probably. I was an idiot. I was 22 years old. I was dumb. I just want to let you know that I did this in my past and I've learned from it. And, just give you the heads up on this so this thing doesn't come out later on. And
I would totally respect that.
I was an idiot back then and I've changed as a person.
I think that'd be awesome.
Everybody would be like, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think a lot of people would look at that and be like, damn.
I respect that shit.
I'm impressed, yes.
Yeah.
But also, that would be the only way to do it. If you were somebody with a bunch of skeletons in your closet, not even really crazy stuff, like I killed 5 hookers when I was 18 kind of thing, but you did crazy shit. You partied, you did crazy shit. You went to jail a few times. Nothing crazy.
But I figured it out, and I didn't end up on an episode of Unsolved Mysteries. It's good.
Yeah, but because that shit would come out eventually. If you were legitimately running,
always does.
If you're running for president, they have people who their job is to find out any dirt they can on you. So that would be the only way you could do it if you knew you had dirt. Like some dirty shit, some weird shit, like some weird shit you were into back in college.
That involved pigs or something.
Yeah. Some crazy some crazy pledge shit you had to do for your fraternity. Yes, I blew 3 dudes from my frat. It was part of pledge week. I'm not gay, but hey,
maybe I am.
That's college, right?
Yeah.
You'd have to be upfront with that.
No, absolutely. I don't know. That's what I would do if I was running for office. Just get it out of the way so it doesn't come out later, and then you have to, deny it and all that stuff, and she's lying and all that other crap.
I think that's a good idea.
So
I like it. It's solid.
That might have to be the next step in your career.
Maybe.
It has to be president.
Straight to president? I think that takes work.
Trump is our president.
I know.
Jim Florentine can be president. You got my vote.
I'm not saying you can't.
Nah, I don't know enough about it. You know what I mean? It would take too much of my time.
That's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of it.
You gotta have a massive ego to, want to be president.
Can you imagine how many people are 20 comedians running the country from the White House? How amazing would that be?
They'd probably all live there together.
You'd have to.
No, yeah. They would.
White House.
They wouldn't have to. I'm just saying they would choose to.
Fucking Animal House.
I don't talk about politics on stage. I don't care. It's been done to death. I think the last place people want to see more Trump jokes is in a comedy club. When, they walk by every TV everywhere, and it's all on there. You know what I mean? Every late night guy's doing the same joke.
But there's nothing even really that much funny to say about him besides he's an idiot and he has horrible hair.
We get it.
And everybody says that. I know. To me, it's like an old Polish joke. The Polish guy's going to do something stupid at the end. So it's okay, Like, when your friend goes, so a Polish guy and Italian guy walk in a bar. So you go, okay, I know at the end, I don't know what the punchline is, but I know the Polish guy's going to do something dumb. So that's the punchline to every Trump joke. And it's just like, what are these guys doing? Like, when is it enough? Like a good comic usually knows to move on from material. Like that when everybody else is doing it, they go, okay, I need to move on because this isn't personal to me. These are just jokes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The famous things were like when Bill Clinton and Monica Lewinsky, every late night guy was doing a joke about Bill Clinton being horny and a whore, a horn dog and all that stuff. And then eventually they stopped, and all the comics were doing it, and they said, all right, we got to do it. And then when Pee Wee Herman got caught masturbating in a movie theater, every comic had a joke about that. And then after a while, the comics go, okay, everyone's doing that. I got to stop. And then it was also the Lorena Bobbitt cutting the dick off and throwing it out the window.
Yes.
Every comic had that joke, too. And then the good comics go, I'm not going to do that anymore because 4 guys in front of me just did the same joke.
Yeah, before you said it, I was totally thinking of the Bill Clinton thing and like the dress and all those, that stupid, it lasted way too long too.
John Bobbitt says that getting his dick cut off was one of the best things that ever happened to him. It improved his sex life.
Did he get a wooden dick?
No, like they sewed it back on.
No,
they sewed it back on, then he started doing porn.
Yeah, he started doing porn. And he became like
with a scar dick?
I'm assuming.
Or he had plastic surgery on it.
I'm assuming there's scarring. But
now you're gonna make me want to look up a picture of his dick.
Look it up. Look up his sewed-on dick.
Like you haven't looked at it before.
I haven't.
Right.
I
you know exactly
haven't.
what a scar is.
It's the screensaver on your phone.
Okay. Yeah. This is a real thing. He did porn after that.
Oh yeah. He became like kind of a novelty. I mean, hey,
I survived this. He's on Pornhub.
There is
familiar with that website. What?
The porn industry, they will jump on any kind of novelty that they can think of. Like I heard this story that there was a guy who looked just like I think it was Saddam Hussein, or was it Osama?
Oh, and do you know what his video is called? John Wayne Bobbitt Uncut. That's the name of it. The Pornhub video I'm watching right now.
It was, yeah.
Veronica Brazil as Lorena.
Jim's like, I got that shit saved in my queue.
Ooh, she's got some sweet hair, but she's got some good boobies.
Frenzy's watching
and he's wearing a weird collared shirt, sweating.
Frenzy, put your pants back on.
Okay.
Jeez.
I don't know. It's weird though because his video is an hour and 16 minutes long.
Nobody watches an hour. Nobody watches the whole video.
I know they're not.
You just get the highlights.
Well, I think it was a whole movie. And
it's totally a whole movie.
When it came out, so they had to make it like a regular, over an hour.
I saw this porn one time that was starring Ron Jeremy, and this was a more recent porn, so he's old and like past whatever we considered his prime was, back in like the 80s and whatnot. So he's already getting up there in age, but he's the star of the show. And the plot of this porn was that his penis, his dick was evil, like it was possessed by some kind of demon or something, and it would detach from his body, and it would just rapidly go around just basically raping women. I mean, the women were down apparently, but this dick had it. It was like some possessed spirit.
Was this animated?
There was some shitty CGI work in it, but this detached dick of Ron Jeremy, because it's a giant hog, was just going around fucking people, and then it would murder dudes, and yeah, it was quite the cinematic experience.
That sounds
you can't
hideous.
even jerk off to it because you're laughing the whole time. So Jim, you're a New Jersey guy.
Yeah.
East Coast dude. You're a single dude now, right?
Yeah. Especially Valentine's Day just passed. Why would you get in a relationship right before that?
Yeah, gross. Yeah, thank you.
Right.
Valentine's Day blows.
Yeah, you're not a fan of Valentine's Day.
I'm not.
No, that's cool.
It's never chicks have this weird fucking fascination of how awesome Valentine's Day should be. Like, I should get presents and flowers and, like, so many things and, like, be loved so much. And it's like, dude, like, just be good. Like,
and it's all about the woman. Let's not get it twisted. Like, it has nothing to do with the guy.
No, and most of the time, the guys that, like, the chicks that want all of those things that are like, Valentine's Day is my favorite day of the year. Like, they have boyfriends or husbands who are like, fuck. Like, they don't want to really do anything because they don't care. Like, they just love her all the time. Like, it doesn't matter. But for some reason...
and especially after they just, 6 weeks before, they just had Christmas. And then 6 days
exactly.
After New Year's,
and then
it was New Year's Eve. They had to go out. Now 6 weeks later, I gotta come up with more
much.
Shit.
Exactly, it's way too much. Like, it's just you're fine. Like, you don't. It's good. Chocolate makes you fat. Flowers die. Like, just love each other like you should normally, and you're good.
That was
but the problem is, and like I make fun of my book and social media, is everybody's bragging about how good their relationships are. And on Valentine's Day, oh, look what my husband did. He bought me chocolate, and here's the picture of the flowers, and here's the restaurant we went to.
Well, yeah, you know why? That's because he doesn't love her the whole rest of the year, and he gets to, show it all in one day, or maybe not even the whole year, but part of the time. And then her reaction is, I have to show that I'm loved, so I have to post about my relationship all over social media so I get validated for it. Like, that's not healthy. Gross. The best relationships are not on social media at all.
No, they're not. Exactly. And the people that are bragging about how great their relationship is,
they're not good.
Yeah, and especially like Valentine's Day. Oh my God, he's the most amazing man in the world. I'm so glad to have. Like, I just talked to you two days ago. You said you're going to leave him.
Right. Or how about you spend the time that you're like posting on social media actually spending time with that person instead? Let's do that.
Yeah.
Well, that's what it is on social media with, like, relationships especially. It's like a top 10 plays of the week on SportsCenter. This is the top 10 events of our relationship, the good times. So the whole veneer of it is everything's wonderful and perfect 100% of the time. Because you're not posting statuses that show, like, transcripts of the fight you had last night.
I know.
So weird.
But most of the time, what it is they're marking their territory. The girl is posting that stuff. Go, hey, this is my man. Stay away from him. The guy's doing the same thing. Let everybody know, hey, we're in a relationship. This person is mine. Don't mess with us.
Don't fuck with me. I'm a black belt.
Yeah.
Or I want to be.
Don't direct message her. Don't send her a message behind my back. Don't meet her for coffee. She's my girlfriend. Leave her alone.
Yep. I remember I saw, like, tooling around on those, like, like epic fail blog websites and stuff where you see, like, some of the lists of just crazy shit that people post on social media. And there was one where there was this girl, she messaged some other female on her boyfriend's, like, Instagram or something, saying, stop liking my boyfriend's Instagram photos. And the female responded, like, I'm his cousin. Like, I'm his first cousin. And the girlfriend's like, that still doesn't mean you get to like his photos. Like,
what?
Yeah, she was still like, bitch, back off.
Oh, man. Chicks are crazy, though.
Yeah, some of them definitely are.
They can be. I can be. I have been. Not a lot, but I have been. I've had my moments.
Every female does.
Jeez. There's some that are just batshit crazy all the time.
Yeah.
All right, so you've got this book that is out.
Yep, and then you've got Comedy Metal Minutes podcast too.
Yeah.
Which I listened to the latest one.
How often are you putting out episodes?
Every Monday for 7 years.
Holy shit.
Every Monday? Have you ever missed a Monday?
I took a month off a few years ago.
Okay, but other than that?
Nope.
That's badass.
7 years. Damn. So you were kind of one of the early adopters of the whole podcast thing then.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just decided, I figured, I had another comic friend doing it, and I decided, you know what? I always want to do like a radio show, and I could say whatever I want, be my own boss, and if people listen to it, great. So I just started it, and just, slowly just built.
That's awesome.
Just building it, and it's, got a nice base that listens every week, which is great.
Well, you definitely, I mean, you're a heavy metal, metal band fan as far as music goes. And I feel like a lot of other fans like you have a kind of, you just have like kind of a brotherhood as far as that kind of music goes. Like, I want to say like Metallica's, you're a fan of Metallica?
Yes.
And then Slayer?
Who?
Slayer? No?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, all those bands, yeah.
Okay. So I was born in 79, so I grew up I listened to a lot of Metallica and Motley Crue and like Guns N' Roses, that kind of stuff. Some of that's probably a little bit more softer for you, but
Guns N' Roses too.
I like Motley Crue. Guns N' Roses, one of my favorite bands. I like all of that stuff.
It was good. Like they rocked it out, but they also could put on like a beautiful like love ballad that like the chicks liked.
They know how to put out some of those ballads that the groupies just loved.
Well, yeah, but they last. Like they're still being played now.
Oh yeah, it's timeless.
Yep.
It's one of the beautiful things about music.
Those bands were great because they would bring girls to the show. Like girls would want to go see them too.
Of course, that's what I'm saying.
Like,
yeah.
Not all just dudes at the concert. It's a lot of hot chicks.
That's what I'm saying. So like
perfect.
they rocked it out, but they produced the love ballads that the girls like. So you got the best of both worlds.
Good point.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That was one of them. It wasn't that hot, but I loved their music.
What was the first concert you ever saw?
Black Sabbath.
I
had older brothers that would take me to concerts when I was really young.
Okay.
My parents let them, so that was cool. So I saw a lot of shows.
And they were into music too?
Oh yeah, they were the ones who got me into the hard rock and heavy metal.
Oh really?
I had no choice. They were older than me, so they'd drive around. I'd be in the back seat. They'd be cranking that stuff. So I'm like, okay, I guess I'm gonna like this.
How many brothers and what's the age differences?
There's I got 3 brothers, and there's 2 of them that are like 5 and 4 years older than me.
Okay. Yeah, so they influenced you for sure. That's cool.
They beat the shit out of you growing up?
Yeah, we definitely were, Yeah, we fought. I mean, they could kick my ass because they were way older, but yeah, we definitely.
Did you?
Different. We get along great now.
Right.
That's awesome.
So I was the oldest brother I had 2 younger brothers, and I was definitely harder on them than I needed to be.
Yeah. Do you have any sisters?
Yeah, I come from a family of 7.
Oh, jeez.
Wow.
So you have 4 sisters?
No, 3 sisters. There's 3 girls, 4 boys.
Oh, that's right. Okay. You're the 4th brother.
So there was
wow.
but we all live like 20 minutes away from each other. Within 20 minutes, we're all still friends. We all hang out all the time.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's
I like
badass.
That's not common. That's pretty cool.
I know all my family lives up north.
All mine are within like 5 minutes of me, which I love. I appreciate that. My sisters and nieces and nephews and parents.
Especially, like a comedian like yourself, you've a lot of you that were originally from the East Coast end up, making that migration to California at some point, and it's cool that you've stayed where you came from.
Yeah, I go out there when I need to, and look, I love the weather, and out there is beautiful and stuff. But I never made that move.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Maybe I should have. I don't know, but. There's a good scene in New York too, and you can just jump on a plane and go out there whenever you have to, which I do often. So,
yeah.
And I feel like it'd be such a different transition too, from just completely picking up from the East Coast and moving to the West Coast. Like they're so different.
Oh yeah, and there's an absolutely great comedy scene in New York.
Absolutely,
you're never lacking for stage time. If you're, especially if you're coming
definitely. Up. LA's got more to TV and film and
exactly.
Stuff but
that's
a lot of, it's tough to make friends out there because a lot of fake people.
Oh, totally. I've been there, done that.
I gotta imagine in New York area and whatnot, there's just a lot less bullshit from people because they don't have time for that. The people are in a rush.
More comedy driven, I feel like, where LA is like, I want to go be on a show or get my own special or do whatever. Well, that's why you go to LA.
I think it's even just the different lifestyles, compared to the way New York is set up. Everybody's, it's a lot more compact. Yeah, it's a lot more people in a very small
in LA
space.
you don't meet people. Like when I lived there, I met like one person that I liked in a year, and I was like, everybody else is like fake and gross. Like, no, I'm moving back home to Minnesota because this is gross.
Yeah. You know, look, I mean, think about it. That's the place where everyone goes to, you know, try to be in show business. So, you know, from all over the country, all over the world, pretty much, to try to make it. So, they're, you know, that's their only goal. And, you know, so you're going to get a lot of, you know, fake people out there. People are just, you know, into themselves and don't give a shit about you, you know, just want to get ahead.
You get that backstabbing, like, oh, I'm your friend. Oh, actually not. I just stole your role on Melrose Place.
So you're from New Jersey, but I hear that you're a Dolphins fan.
Because you lived in Florida, right? For a bit?
Yes. Yeah. No, I moved to Florida. My dad wanted to open like a catering route. You know, like those lunch trucks that go to like construction
like food
sites.
Truck.
Yeah, food trucks, yeah. So he bought like a whole food truck route. That's what he wanted to do. He decided to quit his job, and that was his dream to do that, like to, you know, buy a truck route, you know, with all these places, the different sites you can go to, and, you know, whatever. And it's just, so we moved down there, and, you know, but I was a Dolphin fan before that. But, yeah, it was, at least I liked to go, you know, I was going to the games. I didn't like it down there, but, you know.
Well, how did you become a Dolphins fan growing up in New Jersey, though?
I just liked them, you know.
Dan Marino.
Dan Marino, yeah.
It was even before Dan Marino.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you have a favorite team before the Dolphins? Were you quite...
No, because like because you guys, you know, Minnesota, so you got the Vikings and, you know, the Twins, but you know, in New Jersey, you got so many options because New Jersey, if you live in South Jersey, you know, like the bottom of the state, you're close to Philly, so you're gonna like the Philadelphia teams. If you're in Central New Jersey, in the middle of the state, which is a small state to begin with, you could like either the Philly teams or the New York teams. Then you got the Giants, you got the Jets, you got the Mets. There's a million different teams, so you just kind of pick and choose.
Yeah.
I didn't like any of them. I like the Dolphins, so I just went with them.
That's cool.
I don't know. I think I saw Larry Zonka playing, the fullback, just running people over. I'm like, I like this guy.
I think it'd be weird to not have like your own state team, like you were saying, like in Jersey, like depending on where you were. I think it'd be weird.
Yeah, if you're like a diehard football fan, but you live in fucking Idaho.
Like, yeah, or what's another one that doesn't have a football team?
Utah,
North Dakota,
Montana,
South Dakota.
Montana's huge. Why does it not?
Iowa.
I mean, Nebraska.
Yeah, like how can you not have a fucking football team? Like, what is wrong with you?
Those are giant states. And
I know.
But California has like 9 teams.
The thing is that college football is so big.
Right, it is in all those states. Yeah,
because they don't have a choice.
Bigger than the NFL in those states.
They don't have a choice. They don't have a pro team, so they have to become diehard college football fans.
I don't know. It's weird to me. I think it's weird when states don't have their own. Out of any other sport.
Well, it's just
NFL.
crazy when California or New York have like 3 or 4 teams in one state.
Right.
I know that it's the market, you know, because
like,
the market is so huge. But
the Patriots aren't even called like the Maine Patriots or they're the New England, like that area. They're a team of an area.
Yeah. So the Dolphins, they unfortunately had to endure Jay Cutler last year. I'm sure you weren't real excited about that.
Yeah, he sucks.
Well, he was better than anything out there, so they had no, you know what I mean? They needed somebody because their backup wasn't as good.
But he did have a couple of badass games. They beat the Falcons.
He's exactly what you thought Jay Cutler was. He beat the New England on Monday night. You know, he's going to have like, you know, 8. He's going to have like 6 great games.
He beat the Vikings in preseason,
and then 4 that he's going to be just okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he's never been spectacular. In my opinion, he's been overpaid.
I remember watching that when they beat the Patriots in January. I was like, "What is happening right now?" Yeah. You know,
you never know what Jay Cutler's going to show. But you know, with that quarterback going down the Dolphins, Ryan Tannehill in preseason, there was nobody else out there that was better than their backup. You know, Cutler was the only one that was pretty much better than what they had there. So they said, we might as well give it a shot.
Yeah, that's what you have to do. I mean, that's all you
had
him
for 1 year. It was a 1-year rental, and that was it. So like, all right, no big deal.
Yeah,
right.
Doesn't work out. It doesn't work out. It did it, but he was only going to be there for 1 year anyway. So I didn't care. I was like, all right, he's better than what we have, so give it a shot. They went I forget what they went, 7-9. They would have went 5-11 with the other quarterback.
Right.
Kind of like Sam Bradford with us. We got a year out of him, a good year.
Yeah. What did you think about the Jay Ajayi situation?
Well, I hated that Miami did that because it's basically a 5th round pick they traded him for. It was the 4th round, but the Eagles won the Super Bowl. He complained a lot in the locker room. Like if he didn't get enough carries, even if they won, he would be bitching about it. They didn't like that. But the guy was, a 4th round pick, making $300,000 a year, and he made the Pro Bowl the year before. You can't cut somebody like that.
Right.
And it was only his 2nd year in the league, too.
Right, I know. He was badass.
Him and the coach didn't get along, but, I don't like when a coach comes in and gets rid of star players. That Dolphins had that with this guy, Joe Philbin.
Right.
When he came in, he got rid of all these guys. Anyone that was a little outspoken, he got rid of them. They were all stars, and then they had a shit team. So, and now Jarvis Landry might be leaving the Dolphins. The guy caught the most passes.
I know.
He caught the most passes in NFL history in the first 4 years in the league. And they don't want to give him an extra $2 million.
That's how much the difference is $2 million between getting him to stay?
$14 million a year or $16 million a year. I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, we'll see. But that, and he doesn't get he's a little outspoken too, Jarvis Landry. So, I think when these new coaches come in here, it's like, hey, that's what the league is, man. You're going to get a couple of those guys in your team that are going to be like that.
Right.
You got to deal with it. It's a little aggravation. It's like being in a marriage. You're just going to,
you have to compromise once in a while.
One time, you're going to throw out of the house.
Right.
You deal with it.
Well, so he's supposed to hit free agency on March 14th. So they're going to have to decide soon.
No, they put the franchise tag on him.
Oh, they did?
But
okay.
They might try to trade him. Like he's out there, and if someone gives him a good offer, they're going to trade him.
I feel like the franchise thing is kind of like you're being purchased like at a brothel or something. Like in a way, like you can't do anything else. Like you have to wait until this is over. Well, of course you do.
The one good thing about the franchise tag for a player is if they don't get a long term, they get in the top. The franchise tag is the number is in the top 5 salaries at that position.
Right.
So
I know.
It's $16.2 million is what he would make this year if they kept the franchise tag on him for 1 year.
Right.
So that's not bad money.
No, it's really good money. I just feel like it's like, well, we don't for sure know 100% that we want you, so we're just going to put a tag on you, and then we're going to explore like a couple other options that nobody really knows about, and then we'll come back and let you know. I'm just talking about I'm talking about in general, but we were talking about Jarvis Landry, wide receiver for the Dolphins. He wants $2 million more, and they're like, we don't know if we want to pay that.
Yeah, they don't know if they want to. He's a good player. He's solid. He never misses games. He catches a lot of passes. It's like,
but he's kind of outspoken and like a little
show off.
Yeah,
he's a little show off. He's got a little temper, but who cares?
But remember, Randy Moss was like that, and then obviously he left and then went to the Patriots and whatever. But I mean, he was like that when he played for us, even, and I think he got worse when he left, but. He still is good, and now he's a freaking sports commentator for the NFL and just got inducted into the
Hall of Fame, yeah.
Yeah.
No, Jarvis Landry's going to go. The way he's playing is going to go in the Hall of Fame, too. And I just hate when you got to, you drafted a player, you molded him, and then you just let him go for free agency. It's like, what are you doing? Just pay the guy.
Well, it's annoying when the fans get a kick out of the theatrics of like a diva wide receiver. Or whatever the position is.
You have to have them.
But people get the front office and whatnot puts up such a fuss over somebody who's causing all these waves because they're so outspoken and doing crazy shit. As long as they're producing, if they're putting up the numbers, fucking who cares?
Let them be however they want to be personality wise. Like it's fine. I mean, so
look, if it's a guy like Kaepernick who's gonna kneel for attention and then.
That's
people
different.
Aren't going to come to the game.
Right.
People aren't going to come to the game if they're military and they take offense to it, and you're going to lose fans. Then I can see you not wanting to have a guy like that on your team when you're going to have 5,000 less people coming to your game every week. I mean, your stadium every week. I could see that, but a guy like that just wants to show off in the end zone and be a little silly. So what? The NFL thought, hey, we're starting to lose some ratings, so let's let the players celebrate in the end zone. Like, okay, now everyone's going to come back and watch the league or whatever. It's like, they shouldn't have done that to begin with. Like
they shouldn't have.
I know, just because the guy did a little dance, but now it's so stupid. Like it's so because they all rehearse it, like they pretend like they're bowling and they all fall down. It's like it's so cringy. The way it just kind of make it up along the spot, whatever you're feeling at that moment. But when you know that they rehearsed that before, it looks so bad.
I know.
To me, it does.
What do you think about the XFL in 2020?
You never know. I mean, if they get players, that's what they got. They got to get decent players and some names.
So
like guys that are out of the league now, like a Kaepernick, like a Tebow, or a Johnny Manziel, or somebody like that. Guys that got cut that, if RG3 or something like that,
right.
even though it's a couple years away. But you never know with that if you get some named players.
And it's interesting because they actually have features of what it's going to be. So they're going to have 8 teams to start. They're going to have 40-man rosters. They're going to have a 10-game season starting in January, so January 2020. Any player with a criminal record precluded from playing, and players won't receive forum to take personal stance on social issues on playing field.
No criminal record at all?
Nope.
Not even.
How are you going to field a team?
Yeah, not even one. I've been to jail like 3 or 4 times. Like, you can't even have spent a night in jail?
It says any player with a criminal record, so depending on if that is wiped out or whatever it is. The initial outlay of money is expected to be around $100 million.
Everybody's got some kind of criminal record. Pretty much.
I don't, but I got a minor when I was 17.
There's a criminal record.
It was not my record because I wasn't 18.
I don't think they should start it like at the end of January, right after the Super Bowl. I think people are already need a little break from football. Do it like June, July, or right
do it in the summer,
or
do it like in March when everyone's going through football withdrawal. Have it
something like that, yeah. But I don't know. I hope it works out. I hope it chips away at the NFL.
Isn't it the what's his name? The WWE guy. Isn't he the one who started?
McMahon.
Vince McMahon.
Yeah, McMahon. He's got plenty of money. The guy's richer than fucking God.
I know, but you could just still say early 2020 instead of saying.
It's fine. He's legit.
I know. I'm just saying. I think it's weird to like. It's 2 years from now. How do you fucking know?
It's probably
it is important. It is important to figure out when they're going to play. Obviously they're not going to go up against the NFL, so it's not going to be in the fall. But
so you think it's going to be like the end of January after the Super Bowl ends? Are they going to be respectful of that, or are they going to start like their first season is going to start
like right after the Super Bowl, which the Super Bowl is usually the first week of February, so they'll start right after that.
Or do you think he's going to be try and compete and be like the opening episode?
No,
like he could. You never know.
That would be.
It would take away. It would take away from viewers of the NFL.
They would get destroyed in the ratings.
Yeah, it'd be retarded.
You think so?
They wouldn't do it. Yeah, because it's just. Maybe look if you're 2-3 years in the XFL and it's doing pretty well, then maybe they adjust the schedule and want to go up against the NFL at some point, but not in the beginning. They'll have no shot going against the NFL. They got to do it when the NFL's not on. Draw some new people in. They want to see what it's about.
Why know? So then why say January when the Super Bowl is usually the last weekend in January?
It's going to be after the Super Bowl. I know that. I remember the press conference. Even though it won't be the championship weekend. It won't be clash with the Super Bowl. It's going to be after the NFL season ends. They're going to start it right after the season ends.
I see. Like even if they did. Change it up and got the most desirable schedule time frame during the year possible, and they got some recognizable names that are hold on, I'm talking if they got some recognizable names that are no longer playing in the NFL. If a lot of things fell into place for them, I still have a hard time believing that it won't be anything more than like maybe a little bit of a cult following or a novelty compared to the NFL. Like, I just don't see how the NFL is ever gonna not be the monster that it is.
No, they still will be, but it's interesting because the NFL cuts 1,000 players at least a year from their rosters every year, and so he can pick any of those up. But there's an article about Manziel. Remember him, Johnny Manziel? He posted something on Twitter about XFL 2020 tagged at Vince McMahon, and Vince McMahon was basically like, you want someone who does not have any criminality associated whatsoever with them. Even if you have a DUI, you will not play in the XFL.
Yeah,
McMahon told reporters.
Manziel's
so that will
ready.
probably eliminate some of them, not all of them. If Tim Tebow wants to play, he can very well play.
Yeah, Manziel's definitely got a record. See, he's going to have problems with that because he's going to need some decent names. Some decent, recognizable names like a Johnny Manziel. People will go out to see Johnny Manziel throw a football again.
Yeah, but he won't be able to play for them. So
I know, that seems like not a real good decision. I think
it's a good decision.
Why? Because it's not a good business decision. I feel like he's doing it to come across like we are going to be this league based around morality, and we're not going to have these criminals that are running around the NFL fields these days.
It's going to be tough. I mean, I like that he says no protest and everyone's going to stand for the anthem, because he's doing it against the NFL, which the NFL just, will refuse to admit that that's hurting ratings and attendance, which it is. So I like that he took that stance. As far as the no criminal records, if your star quarterback, if you're going to get say you're going to get Tim Tebow in 2 years and he gets a DWI 6 weeks before the season, so he's not going to play, you need some kind of names in that league. So I think he's risking it there.
Apparently, the season's only 10 weeks, and he said that their contracts will be a 52-week job so that players can work themselves into the communities where they play.
That's good.
That's good. I mean, they're getting paid extra. And then he said it's not clear whether star players, should they garner national attention, will be able to jump. And he said one thing we are not is a development league for the NFL.
Really? He wants to be completely
He wants to be
separate.
something different, yeah.
I have a hard time seeing any real success. I think it might last for a while. I mean, it didn't go well the first time.
I don't know.
Well, I look at it like this. ESPN was a monster. No one touched ESPN when it comes to sports. Then Fox Sports comes around, and you're like, no one's going to watch that. And that's really making a dent in the ESPN because ESPN is so turned to politics and did all this stuff when people just want to tune in for sports. Right. And they're talking about issues and Trump. It's like, I just want to watch highlights. I could go to tune in CNN if I want to see this shit.
Yeah.
So Fox is slowly chipping away at them, too, so you never know. If the XFL just gets a little, if people watch the XFL, they go, this is way more fun, less rules, the games are going to be quicker. He said the games are going to be quicker, all this stuff. And, people are like, hey, you know what, I'm so sick of the NFL with all the bullshit and penalty flags on every play and bad refereeing and, people not standing for the anthem and all this other crap that, I'm just going to watch this in the springtime or whenever it's on, right after the football season. Look, it's not going to, if 14 million people watch an NFL game and the XFL comes along, the next year it's not going to be 7 million, but it could make a little dent. I mean, people are starting to shy away from the NFL now. They're getting tired of the bullshit, the bad games.
Yep,
and most of the games suck.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. He told reporters, because he obviously did it the first time and fucked up and wasn't successful. But he says that unlike the last XFL, he doesn't have any plans to be visible during the league's games or with the league's content. And then he said there's also not going to be any crossover with the league and the WWE talent, which would be insane if that were to happen. Right now.
A bunch of pro wrestlers.
Body slamming football players.
It'd be like that NFL Blitz arcade game.
Yeah.
That one.
But it's just unfortunate because football is such a fun game to watch and how it's gotten so money orientated and it's almost politically orientated too in a way as far as teams and coaching and all that stuff. Just let them play. It's such a fun game to watch and be a fan of. Just let it go.
I wonder how.
I'm serious.
It's so emotional.
I love my Vikings. I love them.
I wonder how accurate, because they say the ratings for the NFL have been
dropped 50% or whatever.
Have been dropping, increasingly over the last few years or so. I wonder how accurate those are, because what do they base those ratings on? Is it Nielsen ratings? Because
it's people that watch the games. The ratings are down 19% since Kaepernick took a knee in that preseason 2 years ago.
Right, but where do those?
They're down 19%.
But the ratings
from 14 million to whatever 19%.
Right,
it's down a total of 19% in viewers.
But the ratings those ratings that they're basing that 90% drop off of, that's based on Nielsen ratings, isn't it? People with the boxes?
No.
They can track streaming devices too?
No. I mean, it's basically, it's through the Nielsen box, just like it was when the ratings were through the roof. It's the same rating that they get. It's 19% less people watching the games than 2 years ago.
But that's where I see the problem is if they're basing the ratings off Nielsen boxes, that doesn't necessarily mean people aren't still watching, because like me and Frenzy, we don't have a Nielsen box. We watch all of our NFL either on an antenna or on streaming, like a Roku box or on a smart TV.
Amazon Video.
Things like that, like where they're not tracking those ratings, because I think a lot of people are going towards the non-traditional way of watching games.
Look, TV is down altogether. People streaming and stuff like that. But when you watch most of the people that watch sports, especially like football, want to watch it on a big screen, not on their phone, not with a shitty signal.
No,
so they got they got a big flat screen on their wall, or they're in a sports bar watching it.
Right, but I'm saying like you can watch NFL games on like your Roku box, like you watch Netflix on and stuff.
But that's all. They're all taken into consideration. They get figured, just like when I was on that metal show on VH1. People that watched it through the streaming app or whatever, it was all calculated in.
Okay,
they know how to do that shit. That's
what I was wondering, if they count those streaming views and stuff too. If that's part of because if that's the case, if they can count that and they can track that and it's still down 19%, then that's legit.
No, it's legit. It totally is, man. The NFL's got to do something, and Roger Goodell is one of the just that commissioner basically has to be in hiding for the last 5 years. Everywhere he goes, he gets booed. That's not good for the league.
Yeah, he's got a bunker. I've always felt like he's kind of seems like a little weaselly guy. But I think
he totally is. He's
totally weaselly, right? Like a used car salesman.
He's a snake oil salesman. He's always been. He's the biggest douche. All he wants is money, and that's it. And don't give me money. They're like the mob. The NFL was like the mob for a long time.
Yes. Like how good does it feel to actually go to draft day and he gets to announce like what team's picking up who and what draft, what order, and he announces it and they all boo him literally over and over and over. I don't think I've ever seen any type of footage with Roger Goodell with people actually cheering him on or clapping or just not making any noise. It's always booing.
When the NFL started the NFL Network and they owned the network and they decided to put some games on there on Thursday night, and they basically told every cable company
that they couldn't get them.
Put this channel on your cable, and we're charging everybody that owns cable. Anyone that has a cable bill is going to be charged $3 extra a month for this channel. We're only going to have 8 games on here, so it's 24 hours, 3 hours a game, 24 hours of live programming. And we want even the 80-year-old woman that lives by herself, her cable bill is going to go up $3 a month. And the cable companies go, no, we're not doing that. We'll put it on a special tier. If someone wants it, they'll buy it. They go, no, then we're not. Then you're not getting our channel. They go, okay, then we don't want your fucking channel. Wow. How are we going to tell the 80-year-old woman that her cable's coming up and she's never going to watch that channel? So for years, you couldn't see those Thursday night games. And when Roger Goodell's on there, we care about the fans. All we care about is what the fan bullshit. And,
exactly.
And for the first 5 years, it was in like 20% of homes, the NFL. And everyone missed those games. You had to go to a sports bar. You had to go sit in the fucking Hooters on a Thursday night to watch your shitty team play against another shit team.
Yeah.
And that was because of Roger Goodell.
You could at least thank Roger for getting to eat good wings and looking at a good pair of tits. At least there's that. But
sometimes
I agree with
no
you.
Standards at Hooters anymore.
Yeah, their management's gone way downhill.
Because the Hooters girls are like 16. It's like,
it's kind of creepy.
Now.
Yeah, you are.
It used to be like 25. Now they're like little girls.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I can't even look.
Yeah.
Well, I got rid of cable like 2 years ago and have like the whole Hulu, whatever, Amazon Video, and I've pretty much this whole football season, I have to think about whenever there's a Thursday night game on, or a Sunday night, Sunday night, Monday night, or during those weird times where they play in England or wherever they're playing Saturday morning at 9:30.
3 a.m. on a
3 a.m., whatever. But I don't have one particular streaming thing or vessel that can give me
to be able to watch all the games,
to be able to watch all the games that I want to on every day of the week, no matter what. I don't have that.
It takes multiple. You have to go down multiple paths to try to get all these games. You're not just watching it off of one app or one.
It's either
channel.
TV antenna. I signed up for YouTube. Have you done YouTube Live TV before, Jim? Have you heard about this?
No, I've heard about it.
It's so not user fucking friendly. Like, if maybe you were going to college at MIT, you could figure out how to use this app, but it's literally, I've downloaded it probably 5 or 6 times because I can use a different email every time and I get a free week of it, and then I can download or watch Vikings games off of it. But it's every time I feel like it's such a struggle to get it to work.
Yeah, it's annoying. I think what the NFL should do is maybe go the Netflix route, because I wonder how much money they make from the TV networks, from like NBC, ABC, and whatnot.
They get a ton. They get a ton of money. Those deals were signed a long time ago. And,
but I'm wondering,
still, they still get good. Look, out of I think the top 50 shows last year, top rated shows on regular TV, 37 of them or 31 were NFL games.
Wow.
So there's still a ton of people. They're just ratings are way down, but there's still a ton of people watching them.
But what if
they're still making money?
But what if
it's slowly coming? Slowly losing money left. Because they would, the advertisers were guaranteed say 14 million people to watch a Sunday night game, and then when it's down to 12.1.
Right.
Sometimes the NFL's got to give that money back, or to just give them extra commercials for free. Going, hey man, we were promised 14 million. And now we're reaching less people, so you got to help us out here.
Well,
that's how it's affecting ratings.
What if the NFL went the Netflix route? If they turn all their games, if they completely detach from the networks, and they had one streaming app, just like Netflix, where people paid $9-10 a month during the NFL season, or maybe all year round if they have different, sports center type.
They're not going to want to spend the money on the visual, expensive cameras and be able to do replays and just having droids floating around the stadiums, which they probably don't.
They have plenty of money. But I'm saying for people to view it, if people paid $9 a month like Netflix, and you could watch every single game. Every single game. You didn't have to watch it on multiple network channels. It's just you go into your NFL app, on your flat screen TV,
all the other places would lose too much money,
and you can watch any game you want on demand, like Netflix, basically.
It's never going to be the one channel that has it all.
No, I'm saying they need to do that. Is if they developed a Netflix type way of distributing it, and you could even watch games. It's on demand. Like you can watch season.
So you're going to pick NBC, you're going to pick ABC, you're going to pick the NFL channel, you're going to pick they all get rights to.
No, I'm saying they detach from the networks.
But what do they get for doing that? They have to be paid.
Are you not listening? I said you charge $9 a month. People
yeah,
subscribe
but who's to
it
say
Netflix.
that $9 a month is enough to pay all of them evenly? Maybe one brand is making, NBC's making however much, and CBS is making however much, and NFL Network's making however much.
No, you're not listening. NBC and CBS are not in it anymore. They're gone. They no longer have contracts with the TV networks. They're not on TV anymore.
So what do you do to pay them to not have the contracts anymore?
You don't
just
pay
off their contracts? They're not just going to go away. You have to pay them.
Okay, if the contracts are done, I'm saying in an ideal word. This is details. If the contracts were done,
I'm detail oriented,
and you're able to detach from the networks, and you can pay $9 a month to watch every single NFL game. Wouldn't you want to do that, like Netflix?
I would. And I'm not trying to knock your idea. I'm just saying there's so many logistics that are involved in that even becoming a thought.
Obviously. But I'm saying, would that be an ideal situation?
Yes.
$9 a month, you can watch every single NFL game. And Netflix has, tens of millions of subscribers paying $10 a month. Mm-hmm. So you're getting $10-20 million a month just from subscribers.
But you're not going to get new people to watch the NFL. Someone that's just not interested in the NFL is not going to watch it because it's on Netflix. They already have DirecTV to NFL package that I've got for the last 10 years because I like Miami, so I can get all the games out of the area. I pay $350 a year, and I can watch every game on Sunday.
But that's way too much. $350 a year compared to $10
a month.
It's not,
because the NFL's on for 4 or 5 months. So how much is it a month then?
$10 a month. And
Netflix is not going to charge an extra $10 a month for the NFL. Not that everyone has to pay it, but they're not going to put on a special tier.
No, I'm not saying necessarily on Netflix, but if the NFL created their own NFL Netflix.
No, because why they got the you know how many people subscribe to the Sunday package, the NFL, Sunday ticket. So they make a ton of money on that from people that want to watch all the games, the fantasy football players, the gamblers. Or someone who likes their team out of market or is just a big NFL fan can watch everything. So they're making a fortune on that, and DirecTV pays them a fortune for every year. So why would they go somewhere else and make less money?
I'm just curious if it would end up evening out.
They wouldn't.
No, probably wouldn't.
Because I don't know how much they make.
The ticket plate, they almost pay them, I think, $1 billion a year. The NFL for them to. For DirecTV to show for people to buy the NFL package, they give the NFL $1 billion, and then they got to get the subscribers. So the NFL's getting $1 billion from DirecTV. They're good. It's we're not going to mess it up. That's a ton of money.
Well, plus they get all these other apps and stuff that you can watch games on, and they're obviously making money from them too. So that's what I was saying. They're not going to just all get rid of all of that to join Netflix. And just have Netflix be the only streaming one.
The thing with the NFL is people don't watch the NFL on their phone if they don't have to. If they're at their kid's soccer game on a Sunday and they have to miss the game, they'll watch it on their phone. But they want to watch it on a big screen. Sports still, is not built for being watching on your little device. That's why everyone's got big screens in their house.
Right. But don't you have a Roku box? You've heard of a Roku box, right?
Who?
You, Jim. Like a Roku?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you were able to go on Netflix just like on your Roku, because we don't have cable. We just watch. You get our entertainment from Netflix and Hulu, or local games with an antenna. The rabbit ears, they had straight up rabbit ears for local football games, for the Vikings games. Because I think it'd be cool to be able to go onto an NFL app, and be able to not only watch every single game.
But you can do that. If you get DirecTV tomorrow, you can watch every game.
But also, to be able to, if you wanted to, you could go back and look at previous games.
They have that too. What he's saying is that there's no way that you could. There's no way that they would be able to be the chief of that market and only pay an extra $9 a month. It'd be great to have it all in one place, but it's just not feasible at this point. There's two.
No, but what if wouldn't it be cool if you could be
I feel like we're all on coke,
right?
We're doing cocaine and we're going over the same thing.
I know. I keep thinking that too.
That's never going to happen.
I know.
Okay.
What's your
45 minutes on this?
I know. We'll delete it. We'll delete it.
Right,
Jim,
even if they do it, who cares?
Exactly. Jim, Pizza Hut or Papa John's?
What?
Pizza Hut or Papa John's? Okay, well, the NFL released Papa John's from their contract. You remember seeing all those commercials where it was Peyton Manning was making a pizza and he's kind of an idiot with Papa John.
Worst commercials I've ever
exactly.
seen in my life.
So their whole contract is done, and now they're working with Pizza Hut, apparently.
I think I like Pizza Hut better.
You like Pizza Hut better?
Than Papa John's? I think so.
Oh.
Yeah, I would say so if I had to pick one. I don't know anyone that eats a Pizza Hut. I haven't known anyone in 20 years that eats a Pizza Hut. I don't know how they're open.
No, Jim, you like Pizza Hut or Papa John's?
If I had to, Pizza Hut, but I don't know anyone that eats a Pizza Hut.
I know. It's amazing they're still open. I grew up on it.
I love Pizza Hut as far as when I was younger because we used to do Book It. We get a personal pan pizza after you read 17 books.
Yeah.
And her teacher glaringly signed your Book It sheet, and then you had to beg your mom to drive you to Pizza Hut to go get your fucking personal pan pizza, and then got mad that you didn't share it with anybody else. What did Papa John do?
Well, he called out the NFL.
For what?
He said that their business is down because you let these players kneel and people aren't going to the games and watching the games.
Oh.
And our business is down because of that. Oh yeah.
So they had an 8-year they had an 8-year partnership, and that was cut 3 years early, so they've only had 5 of it together. But I guess it was starting to go south in November when he.
Well, yeah, I don't know. It got to the point where they were like, okay, I mean,
he
when
claimed
you said
like
that,
poor
the
leadership.
NFL doesn't like you calling them out,
right?
It's especially a sponsor. So,
well, you can't be a sponsor and a part of a team and like call out the other one for being assholes or not agreeing with what you want. Like that doesn't work. I'm surprised he made it until now, November to
they might have
March.
wanted out of that contract anyway. You know what I mean? Like they might have just been like, look, all right, everybody knows Papa John's Pizza. We're not, we're going to pay $1 billion a year. They probably lost money by doing that.
Probably,
but with all those commercials.
That's crazy.
All right, so this is the most we've ever talked about the NFL on this show.
I like it. We didn't even get into anything good.
Well, it's because we have a lot of comedians on here, and you're one of the only comedians we've had on that actually likes football. Like the only out of the other like notable comedians, I think the only other one that we've been able to talk football with is probably Sam Tripoli.
Kevin Goatee, we'll talk football too, but Sam Tripoli,
yeah, exactly.
Sam Tripoli.
Oh yeah,
a lot of comedians, who can, kind of like nerds. They grew up nerds, so they could talk about superheroes. I know nothing about that,
right?
Who would win the fight, Batman or Iron Man? I don't know.
All right, let's wrap this shit up, huh? So you've got the book that just came out. It came out February 20th. Everybody's awful except you, and it's available on Amazon. I'm actually looking at the website.
There's an audio version
right
too.
Now. Yeah, you've even got a foreword by Jim Norton. Badass.
It's in bookstores too.
You can even get the Kindle version. Did you have to read your book for the audio version?
Yes.
Oh,
I can't wait for that. I'm totally gonna get that.
Oh no, was that just torture?
It was tough, definitely. But you got to do it in shifts because it's a lot of reading and all that stuff. But I didn't want someone else to do it.
Right.
Plus, they were paying me to do it too, so I'm like, yeah, might as well.
Yeah.
But no, you don't want somebody else doing it.
No.
Especially if you know the author's voice. You don't want some other voice on there.
Yeah.
Right.
You've got a very recognizable voice. It's one of a kind.
Yeah, you do. And people can also find the book if they're in California in the West Hollywood area. They can find it at the Book Soup bookstore as well.
Barnes and Noble. It's in Barnes and Nobles and whatever bookstores are out there.
Yeah, but Book Soup is like a cute
Is that one of our sponsors now?
No.
Oh.
I'm just saying that if you're in that area, it's a cute little bookstore. I've seen it. And you were on the top sellers list too for nonfiction. I know you did, and you're number 1 on the top nonfiction book selling list.
Yeah.
There. So that's awesome.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that was cool. They were really nice to have their shit together there.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I want to be like, let's talk about them.
Give a little shout out.
A little shout out action.
Book Soup. Badass name actually. Yeah, hey, I read something earlier tonight, which I did not realize until I read it. You won an Emmy Award?
Yeah.
For doing stand-up about NFL stuff?
Well, it wasn't even stand-up. It was... You worked with...
He did it... Go on.
The, what the hell was it? It was the NFL.
I was on HBO Inside the NFL. I did a skit about... comedy skit about Ricky Williams trying to get back in the Dolphins, because when he quit smoking pot. So that episode won an Emmy. So I got an Emmy for being on.
That's awesome. How cool is that?
Yeah.
Though? I mean, something that's probably completely unexpected. As a stand-up comedian, and you get an Emmy Award. That's badass. So where do you?
Yeah, no, it was great.
So
I couldn't believe it either.
Where do you put the Emmy Award? Do you sleep with it?
Right on my nightstand, so I got a girl over. It's like my closer.
Perfect.
Once she comes in the bedroom and sees an Emmy on the nightstand, it's like, I gotta fuck her now.
Everyone has to have a closer.
That's
smart of you.
That was gonna be your answer. You got to use that thing.
I know. I was like, Miami was like Joe Nathan in his prime with the Twins.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I'm a San Francisco Giant fan. Thanks for that was a good trade. Krasinski for Nathan and what's his face, Francisco Liriano.
Liriano was he had his moments, but he was pretty up and down.
Yeah, well, I mean, I got A.J. Brzezinski, who everybody hated.
Uh-huh.
He was on the Giants for like 2 months, and then he was gone. And Nathan became a great closer for you guys for like 7 years.
Uh-huh. Yeah, Nathan was... Well, we ended up getting Liriano back, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. And Nathan was... Yeah, he was a monster for a long time.
We still, like, suck. Like, we need to figure it out. Like, we have this beautiful stadium. Target Field is freaking beautiful.
That
it's
is a great
amazing.
Stadium. We finally got some badass stadiums.
One that's outdoors.
We had the Twins and the Vikings had to share the fucking concrete bunker
of the Metrodome.
That was the Metrodome, and now they both have beautiful stadiums.
They do, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah,
and the Wild have a great.
I haven't been to the Twins. I haven't been to either stadium. I know the Viking one just opened, but I haven't been to a Twins. I'm always when I play in Minnesota. It's usually in December, and it's baseball season's not going then. So I want to get there in the spring and see a Twins game.
Heck yeah!
You come to Minnesota and like do a weekend at the Acme Comedy Club or something, and take you to a Twins game or a Vikings game if it's in the winter.
Yeah, definitely.
I can't afford the Vikings game though. You're gonna have to pay for it. I can't afford it. I took my Vikings game if it comes in the winter. I took my dad to a Vikings game and it was like but I'm still paying it off.
You had badass seats for the Vikings game.
I did, but my dad had never been to one, so I had to do it right.
A Twins game, especially on a nice day, there's really not a bad seat in the house for a Twins game because it's so
really.
No, and I know some people that work for the Twins too, so I can hook it up. We'll be good.
The Vikings, you have a great view, but it is. I mean, if you're in the nosebleeds, you're up high. Like you almost feel like you might, if you lean too far forward, you might fall down. You might tumble down like 30 floors to the field. But but Target Field, there's not really a bad seat in the house. So what do you got? What do you got coming up in the near future here? Where can people see you?
I just promote the book. It's out in stores. Everybody is awful except you. If you hate social media and you get annoyed by everybody bragging or looking for sympathy or attention, you'll like the book.
I love it.
Yeah.
If that stuff doesn't bother you, then you won't like the book.
Right.
Right, exactly. Well, I guarantee we're going to pick up a copy, and we're looking forward to it.
We'll like it. We'll both like it, for sure. And then Comedy Metal Midgets podcast, and then you have some shows coming up too, don't you?
Yeah, I'll be in Baltimore, Vegas, and St. Louis coming up. It's on my website, JimFlorentine.com.
Perfect.
Beautiful. Oh, I gotta ask, what is the midgets part of the Comedy Metal Midgets?
Just if I have somebody short on my podcast.
What defines short? Like 5'2"?
No, it's veteran threes comedy. So I was like, because I wasn't sure when I first started my podcast, so I was going to have like band guys on interviewing them, or it's going to be a little comedy. And then I said, I need a third word, so I just put midgets in there.
I like it.
Yeah, it means nothing.
That's awesome. That's awesome. All right. Well, Jim, thank you so much for sharing your time with us this evening, brother. This has been fun.
Yes, thank you for joining our shit show.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. Definitely, yeah.
Of course, yeah.
All right. Enjoy the rest of your evening, man.
Thank you.
And we look forward to reading this book.
And I'll see you guys when I come to Minnesota at some point.
Yeah.
Heck yes.
Definitely. We'll go to a sports game and we can yell at the Twins.
Perfect.
Or the Vikings.
All right.
Harass people. I like it. All right. Thanks, Jim.
All right. See ya.
See ya. Bye.
Bye.
Hi, is this Casey Price?
Yeah.
Okay, I need to verify the information and I can tell you about the vacation you can receive?
Yeah, hold on 1 second. Let me just put you on my brother. Hold on 1 second.
Okay.
Hello?
Hi. I guess he wants me to talk to you about this?
Okay, yeah. Hold on a second. Let me put my brother on the phone. Hello?
Hi, Mr. Price.
Yeah.
Can I verify this information with you now?
Okay, hold on. Let me just put my brother on real quick. Hello?
Hi. Can I verify this information with you?
Sure.
Your occupation's not listed.
Hold on a second. Let me put my brother on the phone. Hello?
Hi. Are you guys not interested?
No, I'm interested.
Okay. Could you, give me your occupation?
Hold on. Let me put my brother on real quick. Hello?
Hi. It's me again.
Let me put my brother back on. Hello?
I guess I'm just going to have to give this gift to a more qualified family.
Mister, we're trying to get the verification.
Okay, well, congratulations. You can receive 4 round-trip airline tickets. How does that sound to you?
Well, hold on 1 second. Let me just put my brother on.
Hello?
And now we enter the waning moments of this episode.
The outro moments.
With comedian Jim Florentine. That was a fun episode.
Yeah, that was fun. I was looking forward to that one and had a great time.
Yeah, he's definitely one of our favorite comedians. Hilarious dude. It's
Super
hard to
nice.
It's one of our goals, our personal goals we had set for the episode was to try to at least get him to laugh. Because he's got such a... he just seems so serious all the time. Yeah, he's so hilarious.
He's very stoic.
But it was a blast. We got to talk football. Finally.
Which I love, yes.
We rarely ever get to do that because we know that a lot of our listeners might not be football fans. They're like, God, stop talking about football.
Or our guests even don't even like to talk about it.
Yeah, most of the time they're not football fans.
They're like, I like wrestling.
I mean, you are junkies when it comes to football.
Yes.
So sometimes we get that itch.
So
and we got to scratch that itch.
Yep.
Yeah, so check out his book. It's in bookstores and it's on Amazon. Everybody is awful. Except you.
In parentheses, except you.
We're going to grab a copy of that, and it sounds hilarious. And also check out his podcast, the Comedy Metal Midget Podcast.
Yeah, and look him up on all the social media things. Jim Florentine.
Thank you to our sponsors for this episode.
Yes, Comics Watching Comics.
TV show you can find on Amazon Prime.
Yes, they've got seasons 1 through 5 are up now. They just recorded seasons 7 and 8 this past weekend. You can find them on all the social media places, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all the things at Comics Watching.
Yeah. And... thank you to our sponsors, Sportsbook Box Office Podcast.
Yes, it's a podcast hosted by Kevin Gauthier and Jeffrey Paul, 2 New York City comedians who talk sports, movies, and bust each other's balls.
All right. This episode's done.
Yeah, this episode's done.
Coming up. Almost forgot. Coming up on the show.
Oh, yeah. What we got going on?
In the month of March.
The Munch of March?
The Munch of March. We've got comedian Pete Johansson making his return to the show.
Yes, we also have the Seattle native, well, not native, but lives in Seattle now, also lived in Hawaii, R&B artist Luce.
Yes, one of our favorite musicians. He's making a return.
A new dual kind of tape/single, double single coming out.
He just dropped 2 singles.
Rare Sound.
And... oh, we're doing a Swapcast.
Swapcast with Manners Optional Podcast.
Yes. We're also looking to... we're still setting down the date, but we're going to get Corey Adam back on the show.
Yes, he has a new album coming out.
Yes, he's got it drop in the middle of this month. So, also,
some other good guests, but you don't get to hear about them yet. You have to wait.
All right, we're going to play this episode out with a song by one of our favorite musicians, Cullah. With a song called I Got a Plan to Rule the World.
Yes, thanks for listening. Bye.
Yeah. Later, fuckers.
till death.